Tonight's the night, Dexter fans, as we get ready to unpack episode 5 of Dexter Original Sin, F is for Fuck Up. So, we open right where we left off from episode 4, with Dexter narrowly avoiding being caught by the driver who hit Mad Dog. Dexter has to rush a cleanup job knowing that Miami Metro is going to be at his crime scene any minute. When all looks done, they arrive while he's there, and sloppy police work gets him off. Before we move on, does this blonde police officer look like Jenifer Carpenter to you, or am I being stupid? It'd be weird for her to have a cameo, but also kind of cool, so I honestly can't decide whether it's her or not. As the police walk off, Dexter couldn't look happier. He's clearly getting off on being nearly caught like we saw him do in the season 2 premiere when his bags were discovered in the Bay Harbor. Harry hears that Mad Dog got away on his police scanner and he and Dexter have an argument, leading to Dexter being grounded from even going to work. He's been told he's not to use the code anymore and he's back to basics, using training exercises only to relieve his fun. Harry goes to check on Mad Dog's body at the mortuary and he gets told it's unlikely to go to homicide, which means Dexter is in the clear. Growing increasingly bored at home from being grounded, Dexter takes to eating some brownies, which were for Deb's volleyball team. While Harry is practicing for court, we get a flashback. Harry and Laura are trying to abstain from adultery to pretty poor results. Debra comes home and tells Dex he ate pot brownies, to which he shits himself, fearing that being high will put him out of control of his urges. He urges Deb to stay home to watch him and she agrees, getting high with him. He tells him about her new boyfriend and they get onto the topic of their mother's death, since it's been 1 year of her death coming up. They get honest with each other when on the topic of whether their mother would be proud about them, and Dexter accidentally admits that he's a terrible person. He's feeling some serious guilt for fucking up the Mad Dog kill. Dexter asks her how she would react if he had killed someone, and she jokingly chalks it up to him being high. Dexter gets to go to work again, and Harry asks him to fingerprint the guy who ran over Mad Dog, and he's naturally a bit worried that he's going to get recognized. The way Harry speaks obviously shows he's only making Dexter do this to call him out for saying that no one saw him. I don't buy this at all. Harry was incredibly protective of Dexter in the original series, and so now to imply that he would put his son at danger just to prove a point is ridiculously out of left field. I don't know what it is with Original Sin taking characters who are obviously protective of Dexter like Brian and Harry and then changing them to not be just to fit a narrative, but I don't like it. It's not good storytelling. Dexter takes his prints and luckily hears that the guy saw nothing. He's off the hook. Maria gives words to the man who ran over Mad Dog about how our mistakes don't define us, and Dexter decides to take that as a cue that he doesn't need to quit killing because of one little mess up. Dexter sees Tanya watching a horse race as her horse has to be sedated to be put down, and suddenly he's got an idea he's quite liking. I think we all know where this is going, and it's in the direction of a serious dosage of M99. At the trial, a surprise witness is called out who turns out to be the woman from a previous episode, whose alibi had been discredited by Harry because she was stoned. Despite his right choice to do so, it ends up with Levi Reed being let free because the judge determines that Harry had made a mistake in his judgment. Dexter is off to see the horse, and he lets one free so he can get into the veterinarian's office. He nabs as much M99 that he can get his hands onto, and then accidentally walks into the horse's pen while trying to hide as the veterinarian comes back. With Dexter and Harry both tied up in their own issues, Debra is left to go to her mother's grave alone. She muses about the fact that she feels alone and doesn't feel like she can wait around for Dexter or Harry to be there for her anymore. A lot of people have complained about Deb's storyline in Original Sin, saying that it's quite boring and they don't feel like she has anything to do. But I feel like we're finally seeing it go somewhere and that Molly Brown has some stuff to chew on finally, which I'm never going to say no to. Dexter learns that Harry fucked up and let Levi Reed walk, and right as Harry finally turns up to Doris's grave, too little too late. He reflects about a flashback that shows him opening up to Laura about his dead son, and I want to quickly address some criticism I've seen about this new law. People saying that Harry having a kid who he didn't look after and who he let die by accident completely contradicts his protective nature in Dexter of Deb, and I have to agree to some extent about this and what people are saying about it, but I personally see this as the idea that the kid who died is the reason he is so protective of his future children, like a cause and effect type thing. Harry gets home in the flashback and sees that Doris is still up and is magically pregnant with what will soon be Deb. He is surprisingly quite happy about this news, even though it will definitely conflict with his relationship with Laura. Deb gets it on with her boyfriend while Harry drinks his sorrows. Spencer turns up to tell Harry that he saved his job, and Harry just can't find it in him to be happy with Levi Reed still walking free. A drunken and vengeance-filled Harry is about to take a shot at Levi at a party, but Dex gets the jump on him, sedating his own father. Harry wakes up on his own son's table and gets to see how effective Dexter is now that he's taking in all possibilities before a kill. Patrick Gibson even gets to perform Dexter's classic little forehead pokes, which brought too much of a smile to my face, considering how stupid of a detail it actually is. Dexter sets Harry free and offers to take out Levi Reed, saying that Harry made him for this purpose. Something about the way Dexter says that his father made him for this kind of hurt me a little. It's sometimes easy to forget how tragic and sad of a character Dexter Morgan really is. I mean, Harry was just a bit of a nutcase. Further proven by the fact Harry gives permission to Dexter to go after Levi, but not before giving him the tip of using smelling salts so he doesn't have to wait as long for victims to wake up. Again, just how dead set Harry is, and sort of malicious he sounds and seems in the way he talks to Dexter about this kill, just made me feel kind of sad again. Like Dexter was a tool to Harry in this scene, and kind of in general as we move on, and not a son. Anyway, the episode ends with Dexter at his mother's gravestone, and we learn that when he was 13, Doris wanted to get him seen by a psychologist, feeling that there was something wrong with him. I don't know how I feel about this new tidbit of information added to Dexter's lore. How do you guys feel? I mean, there's always new stuff being added, and this fan base is very divisive, so I'm always interested to hear. Also, before we finally conclude this episode recap, I just want to point out that they keep putting Dexter in this like green shirt, which feels very reminiscent to the kill shirt he wore in the original show, with the way the buttons are undone. Maybe it's a precursor, and we're going to finally see him don the kill suit in the final episode, but it might feel a tad too fan servicey if they go that route. You know, like an Avenger putting on their suit for the first time. I guess we'll see if they even go that way. Anyway, Dexter fans, that is episode 5. F is for fuck up. Tell me all your thoughts down below, and just how you're feeling about the show in general. I want to hear everything. Theories, thoughts, everything. It's just insane to me that we're already halfway through this show. Kind of sad. I'm going to miss it when it comes off the air. But that was that. I will see you next week for the final episode before the hiatus.